This time I'll be covering Chapter 5 of Dark Tides of Bilgewater, called Booty of Bilgewater, and this is all about the magic items contained within the book. Looks like there's about 5 or 6, and the art makes me think that they're probably tied in some way to League of Legends, and if you're a big fan of that, it'll probably be some sort of Easter egg or something to allude to that. Before I jump into my intro bit, though, I did want to say that I put it in a couple of posts, and it was in the description and some comments, but I wanted to come out and say, this is not official Wizards of the Coast published content. This is third-party content. It's combined from Riot and D&D Beyond. The best way I can describe it to you is, if you're asking if this is official, I would say it's as official as the Tal'Dorei campaign guide that Matt Mercer put out. So it's as official as the Blood Hunter class. It's as official as anything from that particular book. It's a third-party source, but it's from a well-known third-party source that has got ties to Dungeons & Dragons, but is not something like an Explorer's Guide to Wildmount or Xanathar's Guide to Everything, where it is an officially published source under Wizards of the Coast, which is what we can truly consider official. This is third-party content. That being said, stay tuned. Get it? Hashtag not sponsored. What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and let's jump right into it. So here we go. We first up have the Adaptive Helm, which is an uncommon attunement magic item. This metal helmet is set with crystals that change color. While wearing this helm, if you are the target of an attack that would deal acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, you can use a reaction to adapt to that damage. While adapted, you have resistance to that damage type. The helm returns to its normal state after 10 minutes. This is a very nice magic item because having resistance to those damage types, and it resets to its normal type after 10 minutes, and then you can use it again and change the damage type to fit the situation. So I really like that helmet. I think it could be very useful. It's uncommon, so it's something you potentially could give to a player early on. And for whatever reason, I really like giving out helms in Dungeons & Dragons, or helmets or hats. I don't know why, it's just a thing I enjoy giving out. Then we have the Banshee's Veil, which is another uncommon magic item. Requires attunement by a spellcaster. Once per day, when you are the target of a spell, you can use a reaction to cast Counterspell using your spellcasting ability modifier. Casting Counterspell in this way does not expend a spell slot. So this is, they are using the once per day terminology, which is not something we use in 5th edition anymore. In fact, they made errata in early editions of the Player's Handbook to remove everything that said once per day and shift it to once per long rest, or it resets, at dawn or whatever. But hey, a free daily counterspell, not bad. Then we have the Bilgewater Cutlass, which is a uncommon scimitar that does not require attunement. It has a +1 to attack and damage rolls. It's a +1 scimitar. However, on a successful hit with the Cutlass, the target's speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. So it's kind of got a Ray of Frost style benefit to it, but it's a melee attack. Then we have the Blade of Ledros. This is a longsword. It is rare, and it requires attunement. It is a +1 longsword, and when you hit a humanoid with this weapon, it deals an extra 3d6 damage. However, it is cursed. Until the curse is broken with remove curse, you are unwilling to part with the weapon, keeping it within reach at all times. In addition, you have disadvantage on attack rolls made with weapons other than this one. While you are attuned, once a day at midnight, you must succeed on a DC 17 con save unless you're undead. On a failed save, your hit point maximum is reduced by 10. Hit points lost in this way can only be restored by a wish spell. If your maximum hit points are reduced to 0 in this way, you die and immediately rise as a wraith. Well, that's not a good sword. That is a true cursed weapon. We have Boots of Swiftness. These are rare and require attunement. While wearing them, your movement speed increases by 10 feet. In addition, your movement is unaffected by difficult terrain, and spells and other magical effects can neither reduce your speed nor cause you to be restrained. So these boots look like sort of it's like a ring of free action or something like that. That plus the movement speed, I like that. And it makes sense for it to be more of a boots than a ring. We have the Dead Man's Plate, which is heavy, or it says armor medium or heavy. I'm guessing that means half plate or full plate, and is rare, non-attunement. While wearing this armor, if you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try and shove a creature within 5 feet of you. The shoved creature takes a d8 piercing damage in addition to either being knocked prone or pushed. And then lastly, we have the powder keg, which is a common magic item, non-attunement. These small wooden barrels are filled with highly volatile gunpowder, then magically sealed for easy transport. Setting fire to a keg requires 1 action and a lit torch, match, or similar magical effect. Once set on fire, a powder keg explodes at the end of the round it is lit, dealing 1d10 fire damage to creatures and objects within 10 feet. A successful DC 12 dexterity saving throw halves the damage. So there you go. That's it. That's all of the new magic items contained in Dark Tides of Bilgewater. I'd say the real winner for me, I like the Dead Man's Plate. I like the idea of a shove doing damage, because, you know, you do a shove as part of an attack, but typically. But if you take the attack action on your turn, you can make a shove as a bonus action, which kind of is like sort of a thing you have from the Shield Master feat, but I like that. And then I really like the adaptive helm. I think that that's just a really cool item and gives a lot of versatility. So I really like that. And that is it for the new magic items in Dark Tides of Bilgewater. The only thing kind of left out there that we didn't cover is Chapter 3, which is the adventure, and Chapter 1, which is kind of just like the setting guide. And I don't think there's anything too crazy in there. It just kind of gives you a general overview of what's going on, different factions in the world, and enemies and allies, and kind of religion, that kind of a thing. So yeah, I don't think there's too much stuff in there. I might take a look at it and see. And I saw a couple comments about having me cover it, so maybe I will. So that's it. Let me know what your thoughts are on the new magic items. Which one is your favorite? There is going to be some interesting stuff coming out soon. I have a lot of videos already planned and in the works. I'm going to be looking at the Odysseys of the Dragon Lord. A lot of people have asked me to do that. The sort of other Greek third-party themed campaign. I heard the DC Comics module that I had mentioned a while back. That's coming out, or I hear it might even be out at this point. So I might be doing coverage of that. And I did want to get back and review Tal'Dorei Campaign Guide all these years later and take a look at that and cover what's in there. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thanks to my patrons over on Patreon. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we just broke 38,000, so 40,000 is close at hand. And we are approaching, and I'm hoping maybe we can hit 50,000 on YouTube here, subscriber count, by my birthday on July 12th. And I really do appreciate anybody that stays to the end of the video. And if you did, I have a potential interesting thing that's been going around on the internet that this is for you to see if you actually stay to the end of the video. And that is this guy right here. So I don't know if you've seen this. This was posted on N-World, but this has been going around lately. Oops, sorry. That's a lot of stuff in the way there. But anyway, I've been saying for a long time that I thought the next coming campaign was going to be Tundra and Icewind Dale themed, or at least, you know, Northern Icy themed, and then Icewind Dale fit. Then we saw the snowy art for D&D Live 2020. The t-shirt art is for a snowy owlbear, and the reality RP thing was talking about characters being from 10 local settlements, which obviously makes people think 10 towns. So apparently the story goes, the D&D Beyond YouTube channel uploaded a trailer for this and then immediately pulled it, but this was kept. And there is the tagline, let me see if I can find it, what is it? That's hard to read at the bottom here. Feel the cold touch of death in this adventure for the world's greatest role-playing game. So that's a little bit of a fun teaser if you managed to stay to the end. So I'm assuming Amazon's going to leak this in like 2 days, and then we'll just do full coverage. But hey, you get to see it in the meantime. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.